Namaste children. I believe everybody is interested to learn the next new topic in mathematics. Now look at this picture. You can see food, height, clothes, rain. There is one thing in common that we do with all these items. What is that? Can you think of that? For buying food, what we will do? You will go to the grocery store and you will measure or weigh something and buy it. And then when you are getting clothes, you will tell the size and then you will purchase. And time, yes, we often look at the watch and clock at our home. Then sick, when you're sick, what you will do? What will the doctor do? He will take a thermometer and measure your temperature, right? Now, the one thing common in all the examples that I've told here is we are measuring something. Clear? So in everyday activity, there is a very big role in measurement, right? So that is the next topic in our subject. It is measurements. I know you are very interested to learn more. Shall we get right away into the topic? Now, last year in 7th standard, we already learned the word pi. I have already introduced this term to you, right? What is pi? The circumference divided by the diameter will give you a pi value. And I told you already that is pi value a constant or it is an approximate value? It is an approximate value because here pi is given as 3.14. So this value goes on and on. It is never ending. Usually after this number, if you keep on dividing, what will happen? There will be endless numbers. So always after the decimal point, we'll stop with 2. So we will say that the value of pi is 3.14 or 22/7. Okay, it is the approximate value. Clear? Now, shall we move on to the next one? Today we are going to learn the parts of a circle. I know you already know what is a circle. We have learned the area, perimeter, right? Perimeter or circumference. We have learned all these terms already. Shall we see a quick recap of the first 4 items? Okay, now, first one, center. There is a circle. Okay, please adjust with my circle. Okay, there is a circle and there is a dot in the center, in the middle. Okay, this dot is called as the center. Clear? So this is the center of a circle. Now, next one, radius. What is radius of a circle? Yes, we very well know that the line from the center of a circle to any part of the circumference. It can be anywhere. It can be here or it can be here. All this line is called as a radius. Each one is called as a radius. Clear? Now, what is a chord? This is a new term, I believe. So now listen clearly. A circle is there. A line which touches both the ends of the circumference or boundary is called as a chord. Okay, it can be drawn like this or it can be drawn like this. Okay, it can be drawn anywhere. Okay, it is similar to a diameter, right? Diameter means what is the difference between a diameter and a chord? Diameter means it will exactly cut the circle into 2 equal halves. That is called as a diameter. But a chord is, it can divide the circle into, the line can be anywhere in the circle, but it should touch both the boundaries of that circle. Clear, children? Now, this is one new term, I believe, arc. But you have used this word. When you are in geometry, what we will do? I would have asked you to cut an arc and you will draw a line like this, right? The same meaning is here, but there is one more small difference. A circle is there, and if the circle is divided using a diameter like this part of the circle is called as an arc. Okay, not exactly half of the circle is called an arc. It can be anywhere. Even this minute point is said to be an arc. For example, if a circle is like this, all these are small arcs. Okay, now the part which is here, we can call it as a minor arc, and this large point we can call it as a major arc. Clear, children? Now, sector. I'll tell you what is a sector. Now imagine you have bought a cake or pizza, anything that is round in shape. Okay. First, what we will do? We'll take a knife. We'll take a piece for us, right? This piece that you have taken for yourself is called as the sector. Clear, children? This one part you have taken out is called as a sector. And there will be, here is a small triangle, it is in the shape of a small triangle, right? Not exactly triangle, but we can say that there is some angle here. Okay, there is some value of that angle. This angle we are going to call it as theta. This term is new for us, right? So this word is called as theta. Clear, children? And the angle theta is called as the central angle. Clear? Now we have learned around 8 different parts of a circle. Shall we see this in a bit neat diagrammatic presentations? Okay. Now look at the next slide. Center. The fixed point of a circle is called as a center. Next, radius. Look at this diagram. The constant distance from a fixed point is called as a radius. Clear? Now next one is chord. I have already told you chord is more or less like a diameter, but not exactly the diameter. Okay. The line joining any 2 points on a circle is called as a chord. Clear, children? Next one, diameter. We are very well aware of this term, diameter. Line passing through the center dividing the circle into 2 equal halves is called as a diameter. Clear? Shall we move on to the 5th part of the circle? Circular arc. Circular arc is, I told you, the circle will be divided into different, so many arcs are there in a circle, okay? You can take n number of arcs and make a circle. N number of arcs in the sense you can divide this, all this part you can make it as different arcs and you can form a circle. Now look here, A and B is given, right? So this A to B is called as a smaller arc and this B to A is called as a larger arc. Okay. Now the next term here is circular sector. Sector means what we should remember? Cake. Okay. The part that you are cutting and having for yourself is called as a sector. So this part is called as a sector. And this A to B is called a minor sector and B to A is called as a major sector. Clear, children? Shall we move on to the next part of the circle? Segment. Now a segment is the circle is divided by a chord. We have already seen what is a chord, what is a diameter, and now next term related to that is segment. The circle divided by a segment. This part, okay, this line is called as the chord and this part that is it is being divided is called as a segment. Clear? Now the next one, central angle. So the angle formed by a sector is called as central angle and that angle will be denoted as theta. It should be like a O. Okay, that is theta. It should be pronounced as theta. Clear, children? Now, the next one, there are few formulas in this unit. I know we are all scared of formulas, but shall we learn it in an interesting way? First, length of the arc. There is a circle. Wait, children, I told you there is a circle and we are going to, it can be divided into n number of parts, okay? The circle can be divided into any number of parts. Now I am going to calculate this arc alone. The length of the arc L I am going to calculate. Okay. For that, suppose if they have given you how many parts the circle is being divided, that is if you know the value of n, you are going to use one formula. Suppose if you know the value of the angle, then you are going to use another one formula. Shall we see what we are going to use when the value of n is known? Now usually now this length, where does it lie in the circle? It is in the boundary, right? You already know what is the formula for circumference. What is it? 2 pi r. Now, the length of the circle also is lying on the boundary line. So, just remember this formula first. Now, the next one is, since we already know the value of n, we are going to use 1 by n into 2 pi r. Okay. This is the formula of length of the arc. Clear, children? This is in case when we have the value of n. Suppose the value of angle is given. So what we will do now? The same 2 pi r will be there, but instead of this 1 by n, we will be using theta by 360 degrees. Okay, suppose they are telling you the circle is divided into 45-degree quadrants. If they are telling you like that, you have to substitute this theta as 45, and then the radius value will be given. You have to substitute and find the answer. Clear, children? Now, the next one is area of the arc. Now we learn two formulas, that is length of the arc when n value is given and theta value is given. Same way we have two formulas for area of the arc. Now the area is also lying here. So what is the formula for area of a circle? It is pi r square. You know this basic formula. Now we are going to derive this with the help of this formula only. Now area of the arc. So what we will do, same way value of n is there and value of theta is there. When the value of n is given, you are going to write it as 1 by n. Since we are finding out the area, we are going to write it as pi r square. And when theta value is given, you are going to write theta by 360 into pi r square. Clear up to this? So far we have learned 4 formulas. Now the fifth one is, we are using the term theta in both the formulas, right? So sometimes they will give you the value of theta directly, but sometimes if they have not given, we have to find. So there is a formula for theta also. That is a simple formula, don't be scared, okay? 360 degrees by n will give you the value of theta. So far we have learnt 5 formulas. Okay, children? Now the next one is, after theta there is one more small formula, that is for the area of the arc there is one more formula, that is L r by 2, length into radius by 2. Clear, children? There are 6 formulas to do this exercise 2.1. You are going to clearly learn this, and I'll type and tell you which one is the homework for the day. Okay? Okay. Shall we meet in next session? Thank you, children. So this is the formula. You will write this in your classwork. I'll give you instructions via message. So shall we meet up in the next class? Thank you, children.